Why is it important for teenagers to understand money? A small lesson today that can protect an entire lifetime. It is around 11 at night. A teenager is lying on the bed, scrolling through the phone. On the screen, there is a flashy sale on one side, an influencer showing off a new gadget on another. A friend has posted a photo of branded shoes on a third, and on the fourth side, a payment app notification lights up. Buy now. He thinks, let me just get it this one time. We'll see later. That later often becomes one of the costliest mistakes in life. Because money problems do not always begin when the pocket becomes empty. Many times they begin when a person does not even understand where the money came from, where it went, and when it should have stopped. In today's digital age, teenagers are not just spending, they are growing up surrounded by algorithms, ads, trends, online payments, and social pressure. In such a world, if they are not taught how money works in time, they will learn to spend before they earn, and to mistake desire for need. And that is the quietly growing danger we often think about only when it is already too late. Today, financial literacy is no longer a luxury skill. It has become a basic life skill. Recent OECD material shows that students with better financial literacy display more responsible financial behavior, tend more towards saving, and compare prices more before making purchases. Not only that, the OECD has also highlighted that students who regularly talk with their parents about spending decisions perform better in financial literacy. That means understanding money is not a subject for a future MBA, but a basic lesson of everyday life. And if this lesson is not taught in adolescence, then in adulthood many mistakes have to be learned through trial and error, and the price of those mistakes can often be very high. In a country like India, this becomes even more important because children and teenagers are now entering the world of digital money very early. In RBI's Financial Education Initiative, school children are treated as a separate target group, and RBI's material emphasizes the prudent use of digital financial services, good financial practices, and consumer protection. The direct meaning of this is that even at the policy level, it is being accepted that money management is not just about opening a bank account, but about digital behavior, understanding expenses, fraud awareness, and healthy financial habits. Today's teenager is not growing up in a cash world, but in a world of QR codes, UPI, autopay, gaming purchases, and instant checkout. That is why the way we teach them the value of money cannot remain old-fashioned. The very first thing teenagers should be taught is that money does not fall from the sky. This sounds very simple, but in reality, it is the root of all financial discipline. It is important to openly talk to children and teenagers in age-appropriate ways about family income, expenses, EMI, school fees, groceries, electricity, transport, health expenses, and savings goals. The OECD has linked parent-child discussion with better financial literacy outcomes, and the same thing is visible in practical life as well. When a child sees that a family has to make choices every month, where to spend, where to stop, which thing to delay, only then does the child understand that money is not a magic button for fulfilling wishes, but the result of hard work, limits, and decisions. This conversation should not be for frightening them, but for making them wiser. But simply saying spend money carefully is not enough. Teenagers need practical experience. So giving them an allowance or pocket money is not wrong, but giving it without direction is incomplete. It is better to teach them to think of even a small amount in 3 parts. 1 part for spending, 1 for saving, and 1 for some meaningful purpose, whether that is giving, contributing to the family, or setting it aside for a bigger goal. This method teaches children that every rupee has a job. It is not only for today, but also for tomorrow. This small habit later becomes the foundation of budgeting, emergency funds, and goal-based saving. And if this habit forms at the age of 14 or 15, its effect becomes very clear by the age of 24 or 25. It is also necessary to teach teenagers that not every desire is a need. Understanding the difference between needs, wants, and trends is perhaps the most important financial education of today. A need is something you cannot do without. A want is something that makes life better or more enjoyable, but is not immediately necessary. And a trend is often something born from looking at others, not from your own real need. Today, social media intentionally blurs this difference. A shoe does not remain just a shoe, it becomes an identity. A phone does not remain just a device, it becomes social status. A cafe visit does not remain just food, it becomes content. UNICEF's recent work on children and fintech has also shown that digital financial ecosystems can make children and teenagers vulnerable to scarcity tactics, misleading marketing, and behavioral nudges. The meaning is clear. Today, understanding money is not just about accounts and calculations, but also about the ability to recognize influence. That is why delayed gratification, the ability to say not now, later, is a skill more precious than gold for children. If a teenager is stopped from making an impulsive purchase every single time, he or she may get upset. But if they are taught to save for 30 days for something and then decide for themselves whether it still feels that important, self-control begins to develop within them. And this skill does not remain limited to shopping. Later, this very skill can protect them from credit card debt, unnecessary EMIs, risky investing, and peer pressure spending. Real financial maturity begins exactly where a person feels a desire but does not think it must be bought immediately. Now there is a very practical and powerful method. Letting teenagers experience earning. This does not mean every child must do a formal internship, but through small tasks, project-based earning, holiday assignments, tutoring, helping in a family business, basic freelancing exposure, or performance-linked incentives, they can be made to feel that money comes from time, effort, and responsibility. When teenagers earn something themselves, their spending psychology changes. They stop seeing the price tag as just a number and begin to feel the time and effort behind that number as well. That understanding teaches them to prioritize their purchases. This is one of the most effective ways to teach the value of effort without giving a lecture. The role of parents as role models is the most important here. The truth is, children learn less from what they are told and more from what they see every day. If impulsive shopping is normal at home, unnecessary things are bought in the name of discounts, credit is built with a "will see later" attitude, bills are never discussed, savings goals stay invisible, and digital payments are treated like free money, then a child will not change through lectures. But if the same child sees parents making a budget while planning vacations, comparing prices before buying, deliberately delaying some purchases, talking about savings goals, and paying attention to digital safety, then financial behavior begins to take shape naturally. If we put the emphasis of both the OECD and RBI into practical language, parents are the first financial teachers in the home. Digital money has made this entire conversation even more urgent. Earlier, children saw cash. When the wallet felt lighter, it was obvious that the money was gone. But today, in online payments, the pain of paying is much less visible. Tap scan, click auto renew, one tap purchase. These things have made spending frictionless. UNICEF's recent findings show that the rapid growth of digital finance has widened literacy gaps even further, and many young users are not fully equipped to understand online payments, subscriptions, and digital financial products. That means teenagers now need to be taught not just saving, but also subscription traps, hidden charges, in-app purchases, gaming spends, and buy now pay later systems. Today, the syllabus of financial literacy has become much wider than before. Teenagers should be taught fraud awareness just as early as budgeting. Because today, money is lost not only in spending, but also in security failures. Sharing an OTP, fake shopping sites, phishing links, KYC scams, referral traps, fake investment screenshots, crypto hype, gaming loot, and influencer-led financial misinformation. These are now all part of their world. RBI's financial education material emphasizes good practices and consumer protection, and that emphasis is absolutely right. A teenager should know that no genuine institution asks for an OTP. Unknown links should not be used for payments. Urgent deals can often be scams, and not every return shown online is real. Money management is not just earning and spending, it is also safeguarding. Another major mistake many families make is this. They either give children complete financial freedom or keep them entirely in the dark. Both are mistakes. If money is given to a teenager without guidance, impulsive behavior may develop. And if they are kept away from every money decision, they may grow up clueless in adulthood. The middle path is the best. Guided freedom. That means a limited amount, clear rules, review of spending, discussion without humiliation, and allowing mistakes to become learning opportunities. If a teenager spends pocket money badly, then instead of immediately giving an extra bailout, let them feel the impact of that mistake. These small financial consequences can protect them from much bigger financial disasters in the future. The role of schools is no less important here. The World Economic Forum has described school-based financial education as something that can create positive effects even within families. This means that if financial literacy remains limited only to homes, its impact will remain uneven, because not every home has these conversations. But if schools teach budgeting, consumer rights, digital payments, saving behavior, comparison shopping, and basic financial choices as life skills, the ripple effect can reach the family too. In countries like Denmark, financial education was made part of structured schooling from an early age, and that model has drawn global attention. In India too, if we want to prepare children not just for marks but for life decisions, financial education cannot be left optional. It is just as important to teach teenagers the meaning of charity or giving as it is to teach saving. When a child understands that money is not just something to spend on oneself, but also a means to help someone else, contribute in a small way to the family, or support the community, then a moral value system around money begins to develop. This helps them become not just a spend-save machine, but someone who sees money as responsibility. Such a child may later grow into a more sensitive consumer, a more responsible earner, and a more balanced human being. And that is also the true meaning of financial maturity. Money is not only for me, but also for the impact of my decisions. One practical exercise that works very well is to include teenagers in family budgeting conversations. It is not necessary to share every financial detail, but it is important to show them the basic logic of monthly planning. For example, if a holiday is being planned, how its budget is being decided, why price comparisons are being done while grocery shopping, why a mobile upgrade is not being taken right now, why saving is being done in advance for a school trip, how household choices change when the electricity bill rises. When a child sees all this in real life, money stops being an abstract concept. It becomes part of everyday reality.
And this familiarity creates financial confidence. Another important thing is that teenagers should not be made ashamed of money, but comfortable with it. In many homes, money talk is either taboo or a source of tension. The result is that the child begins to see money either with fear or with fantasy. But ideal financial education should be honest, calm, and non judgmental. Along with saying, we cannot afford it, it should also explain why not, when we may be able to, and how planning works. In the same way, instead of asking, why did you spend this much? It is often more productive to ask, why did you feel this expense was necessary? When a child does not feel judged while talking about money, that is when they begin to share their mistakes and temptations. And that is where the real parenting opportunity begins. In today's time, financial literacy does not mean giving investing tips. Teenagers are constantly exposed to stock market excitement, crypto hype, quick profit reels, and teen entrepreneur glamour. But the beginning should not be with investing, it should be with the foundation. First, they must understand what earning is, what saving is, what a spending trigger is, what risk is, what a scam is, what digital safety is, and what the difference is between need and desire. Only after that do topics like investing become meaningful. Otherwise, the child may learn jargon, but not judgment. And without judgment, financial vocabulary becomes nothing more than show. In the end, it is important to understand that teaching teenagers about money is not only about increasing their future earnings, but about reducing their future mistakes. It prepares them not just to become rich, but to become wise. When a teenager understands that money comes through effort, grows through planning, shrinks through impulsive behavior, and gives security through good decisions, then in adulthood that person panics less, gets carried away less, and makes more durable decisions. This skill transforms them from a trend-driven consumer into a thoughtful decision maker. And perhaps that is the biggest truth in this entire story. Children can be taught how to earn money later too, but if they are not taught to respect money and time, then a great deal of understanding remains incomplete even later. So if there is a teenager in your home today, do not just give them pocket money. Give them the language to understand money. Do not just say no to them. Explain the why. Do not just stop them from trends. Teach them how to choose. Do not just give them a savings target. Give them the strength to wait. Because money management is not a chapter, it is a character skill. And the child who learns this skill in adolescence does not just handle bills better later in life. He or she handles life decisions more wisely too.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.